Welcome everyone, it's Vapor Drakomar. It's time for some more Raid Shadow Legends. So we're going to be continuing with our battles through time and otherwise. We're not going to outspeed this lady, probably even if I went my Kimi at 260, because she's probably got 300 plus speed, knowing my luck. Mithrala in general is a pain, so I'm going to need some block buffs and some other maniacal things to get through her. I predicted this. She's got some weird debuffs. I mean, I still think we might beat her, but the chance of us debuffing her is very low. Reminds me of like some other version of Mashald. Got her. See, I've been grinding this. Did we get it? Please tell me we got it. We did it. Let's go. We got a Pathfinder Kate. This takes 5k. 5k to get to that point. Ugh. I am not... 2k for the Ice God. Like, this is why I didn't want to fuse the Legendary. This is why. Like, yes, I might have 2 copies or whatever, but that's why I didn't want to fuse. Because that would be a nightmare to do that. A nightmare. Oh, that would be a nightmare. Let's first lock her real quick, just to keep her safe. Alright. Actually, let's first help out our gear grinder, because, let's be honest, we're going to need gear grinder one day. And, leaving him in here like this, we're doing him at no services. None at all. Oh, we could also get the energy fuel. Because, believe it or not, all of these quests, they suck energy fuel like you wouldn't believe. So, that can be a massive hassle. Let's first do some clan quests so that people don't flame me, the clan leader of all things. We're not doing it. Let's take this quest. Go to Fire Knight. And let her rip. We're gonna need Vizier for this. Like, I'm almost certain we're gonna need Vizier. Why? Very simple. Vizier offers 2 major things. He offers a multi-hit. See, I could improve it by putting Apothecary in, but I don't know if we need the revive. Because, see, unfortunately, as much as the detractors to Scylla the Drakes would like to tell you, Syl is actually a very good reviver. And I know the whales be like, oh my god, she's free, so she's bad. We can't possibly invest. But remember what I told you about the fact that I'm not a whale? Yeah, I can do things that would make other whales cringe in their sleep. They'd be like, no, we can't. We can't build a bellower. There's no way. I can't build all those void rares. No, I can't help out Syl. I can't help out... Well, actually, no, they would help Drax, wouldn't they? They'd still help him, right? I'm not delusional. They would still help out Drax. I don't know about Syl, but they would still help Drax out. Because Drax is still best in class. Even with their duchesses and you name it. It's going to be a little bit rough here. These waves are very brutal. Now you might ask why we got a Cult Brawler in here. Well, one thing a Cult Brawler excels at, and I haven't gotten Ornn to this point yet, is putting debuffs up. He is a debuff machine. So between Vizier and a Cult Brawler, I've been meaning to do this for a while. He won't get it until the multi hits there. But this is where things get interesting. Right? So we go get into there, right? And then we go debuffs, right? He goes in, but he can't do much. And then we start increasing it. See? And then we compress his turn meter again. And then we go into Heartseeker. See where I'm going with this? Go and try to go with the poison again. Try to go for the leech. And then compress his turn meter again. We might want to go to a higher difficulty to keep the debuffs rolling in. Okay, good. I'd like a decreased accuracy just to try to get even more debuffs in. Because that, generally speaking, is what you want in this scenario. See, keep stacking the poisons. What did I say about a Cult Brawler and poisons? This is how we do it. We try to fill the debuff bar as much as we can. Try to make sure none of it falls off. Please. Okay, Vizier. Get that. Stack to the ceiling. Did we do it? We did it. We did it. 350 in the bag. Daily quest limit reached. Not bad. 390. I'll take it. Now, we're not done here yet. We're not done here. So what we're going to do is we're going to start climbing the Doom Tower. Yeah, you thought I was done. Mm-mm. Nope. Nope. We're climbing the Doom Tower again. I mean, I will be doing more Elder Scrolls later. I still have to climb to CP 600 with or without the gaming council, and in this case, it's probably without them for the rest of time. Doesn't matter though, because my determination is of steel. For those of you who know me, you will know I am determined. I am determined. My determination does not break easily. I would have never got this far if my determination to win wasn't as high as it is. That's the truth. A lot of people don't realize that. There's a reason I got this far. You have to be determined, no matter what happens, as much as you can, to continue to be dedicated to winning to a goal. That is how true winners work. That's how this clan was made. That's why it is what it is. That's how all my achievements, my storylines, all of that's done. We got rid of floor 61. War Maiden doing some decent work for what content this is. I'm probably going to be building another War Maiden. But I'm going to be putting her in a different build. I'm going to be putting her in a very damage-centric heavy build. And the reason I want that is I want to use her as a major nuker in Arena. And it won't be hard to do. Well, actually, it will be because I have to build her up. But we will get to that point. It will happen. You want to keep that going as much as you can. And you want to continue to keep those turn meters down. You do not want that. You saw that guy, the Whirling Frost Kings. You don't want him setting up shop, because in a full damage setup, that's death. That right there, that straight up is death. If he sets up shop, you died. There's no ambiguity here. You have to repeat the area. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to continue to try to repeat. I'm continuing to pursue it, but you're going to have to repeat it. No ifs, ands, buts, or maybes. You're going to have to repeat it. Okay. Let's just block the buffs. Make sure that when she finally gets a turn, she's ruined. This may take a while. Get out of there. Alright, where are we at? Nowhere near where I need to be. Oh, not my shield! No! Not my shield. You gotta be kidding me. I swear, one day I will get my revenge and get a shield. Or a Venomage, or something like that. One of these days. I'll find a way eventually. One of these days. It's just gonna take patience. Or Trunda, or a Brock. Like, there's so many different champs. The game's just like, no. Thou shalt not have it. Alright, I still need more floors. Are you serious? I'll do more arena actually soon. Because there's the issue, right? I don't really have enough resources to go for anything more than the epic and the rares. Like, I just don't have the resources. So that's ultimately why I'm not ever going to fuse the legendary. Even if I get multiple copies, I'm keeping the multiple copies because to me, the multiple copies are worth more than the legendary, even if I get the multiple copies. That's the crux of the Morrigan fusion. That's the crux of it. I still have to clear this just to get to the next floor, to where the secret room is. And the secret rooms are the real gem in this case. Because the secret rooms have a lot of hidden champs that I can use to my advantage. You know, in a clan v clan scenario, and also later on in the game. So that's ultimately, and also by completing, if I can complete the epic Rion the Conjurer, yes. Rion the Conjurer. If I can complete Rion the Conjurer, I can get Dark Hail. Dark Hail is what I really want. Like, real badly. Rion the Conjurer is not really a champ you see much. But you don't also see Dark Hail. But Dark Hail is what I really want. And I want to make it clear that Dark Hail is a far different beast than regular Kale. Dark Hail is a special champ. Like, ultra special. I don't like, because you can't hatch him from shards. So you can't get like 20 copies of him. Not that I'm not close to that. Or like 4 or 5 copies. You could have 20 copies of Dark Hail. Okay, here we're actually starting to play with fire a bit. Again. There we go. How far are we up? Alright. Epic champs only. So we're going to want her. We're going to want Deke. We're going to want a block revive. I want her. Do we want ally protect or not? Or do we want ally attack? We'll just try different options. I'm definitely going to try to beat this. 100%. There's no doubt. There is no doubt. Because if there is a, like, this will get more stacked as time goes on, but even as is, we've got a pretty nice assortment. of champs for this. I mean, we don't have Seeker, which I would have loved, but at least we have a number of options to beat this. Right? Including, most importantly, a Reviver. Because I didn't have an Epic Reviver before. I had Syl and that was it. Pretty much. Like, I didn't have all these other Revivers of other factions and other shenanigans. I didn't have this shenanigans before. Now I have the shenanigans. Rector is nice. Like, I feel like Rector is really underrated. I still don't hate the fact that I built her because she has her uses. She has her uses, man. And one of them is to keep everyone healthy. Even better, Phoenix can do block revive on here. So we've got him in the bag. No way out. There we go. Alright, let's keep climbing. We gotta get to the top of this tower. Because that's the tradition. There we go. Get rid of him. Oh. Okay, so what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to try to cancel these Sifis out of the equation. This is not going to be as easy as it looks. Because okay, first off, block revive you. At least we have Phoenix to deal with this kind of thing. Because this is kind of like Phoenix is calling, you know what I mean? That. Doing that is Phoenix's calling. He prevents the Sifis from taking over the world. So that is going to make this floor much easier than it normally would have been. There we go. I still want that juicy void shard. I want that void shard so bad. Because I know that one day, one of these void shards is going to hatch something godlike. Because a lot of good champs are void champions. Including several god tier epics. And yes, I did not use the words god tier lightly. I know the stakes. But some of these, like Maneater and Genbo, for instance, are like my dream champs. Skull Crown. These are all dream champs that I really want. But the game is like, no. Well, Can we beat it? Probably not. I probably finally need to break down and get the sill out. Yeah. Yep, we need the sill. We need the sill now. It's become very apparent to me that we can't go on without the sill. We can't. It's come to my attention that we finally need the sill. Because we need the healing, we need the revives. It has finally become too difficult. I knew this day would come where we would need the sill. I knew it. I knew it was only a matter of time, because as I tell you, this is the Doom Tower after all, and the enemies in here are very evil. So there comes a time where you gotta break down and pull out the sill. I don't like to say that, and part of it is also because I don't have a Gembo. If I had a Gembo, we would have beat this by now. It's because I don't have a Gembo. Because Gembo is the ultimate counter to Skull Crown. So that is the ultimate issue here, is I don't have a Gembo. If I had a Gembo, we could still do the full damage strat. But until we've got Gembo, I don't see it happening. Genbo is very useful in a lot of situations. At least we can block revive that, right? But yeah, Gembo would have already cut through this like a knife through butter. So that's the ultimate issue here. Because of their champion combination. We could still use Syl for the extra layer of safety, but Gembo would have made that doable. We might be able to go back. Wait, no, we need to include her for the views. Okay. We could try for a full damage setup on this, and I will. But there comes floors where if I don't have the Syl, and because I don't have Gembo, we're not getting out of there alive without him. We're just not. It's just not happening. Because that's just how the cookie crumbles. Because Gembo gets through unkillable in wave content. That's one of the reasons why Gembo remains on my most wanted list. Because he would cut through this no issue. Skull Crown, no problem. Leorius, no problem. Like all of these champs that rely on unkillable, no problem. And that's ultimately why Gembo is so prized, on top of the fact that he does very high damage. So that is really why I really badly want him. But that's also why I'm doing this in the first place, because I get a Void Shard, and every Void Shard, there's a new day where we might get a Gembo. You know? There's a possibility. I just realized we're doing this full damage. Let's just fight this to the end and see what we can do, but I doubt we're going to win. Simply due to the fact that we don't have any support and I don't have a bad L to counter their bad L. So I'm pretty sure if I had a bad L Because remember, Bad L is really powerful. I really still want him. He is on my most wanted list. I have seen him many 10x's. Game is like, no. No, noob. You're not getting your Gimbo. I don't know. We're gonna have to do something drastic. Like, something drastic is going to have to happen here for this to work out. That's just the reality of the matter. As we are definitely playing with fire without a Sill. Because Sill can carry most teams through this tower. We need the block revive, but we also need the Sill. Let's give this a go. The reason that Miss War Maiden is staying in the team for several reasons. One, she's got, like, the biggest reason is she's got appeal. Number two, she has a force affinity decreased defense. Whereby, even on magic affinity waves, whereby Deacon might have trouble landing it, War Maiden will not struggle to land it. Because you want this decreased defense on there practically guaranteed. Because if you fail to get that on there, you're toast. You are so toast. So that's why you really don't. Yep. That is exactly right. There we go. Get rid of the Madame Ceres. You don't want this Saito getting a turn. Because if Saito gets a turn... Now here's another place where going full damage is not going to work. Floor 70 Nether Spider. You don't want to do that on here. Now what I can do to make this work better is we can go with a fast strat. So you might ask, what is the fast strat? Well, since it's magic affinity and it's affected by burns, the fast strat, where the heck is he? I swear I have one. There we go. You throw, see, because this is where good old Mordecai is useful. Because Mordecai just throws burns everywhere. Do you want to know how valuable that is versus this boss? I'll give you a hint. It makes you a god in this boss fight. So that's ultimately... I hate Gorgrab. And here's the thing. The provoke is useless in here because it hits the spiderlings. You don't want to hit these spiderlings. What you do want to do is get a cleanse off. You want to keep the burn on the main spider, right? And then we get burns everywhere else. Because all these burns are going to add up, right? But that's why we have our sill here to save us. Because here's the issue. We need these cleanses to be up all the time. This could be bad. I might need the Demetha strategy after all. Because the issue is, I don't know if we'll survive long enough, even with negative affinity, once Syl is down, to make it. So I don't know if Mordecai is durable enough. But we'll see. Keeping these burns up is going to be essential to trying to see if we can do this quick. You do not want to provoke these spiderlings. 100%. You don't want to provoke the spiderlings. Because if you provoke the spiderlings, you're as good as toast. Drex is an Exodia strategy versus this boss, but it's going to be close. It's going to be perilously close to failure. And the next version up, we are going to have to use the Demetha strategy, unfortunately. Because these enemies start to become too powerful to do without a support. And that's where the top of the tower is. Which we will be doing next time. I will see you all then.